There, I'm Nick. This is Surrender Healing. I wanted to talk today a little bit about method that I use. Um, it's a non-method method, so um, I've always known my entire life that I needed to heal on a variety of levels: mental, emotional, physical. Um, and So my willpower was pretty shit. So, I guess maybe over the years I tried a couple of those things that people do, like dieting, um, or like telling yourself you're going to meditate every day, or doing like no fab challenge, or just like any of those challenges. I did a lot of those, and they never really worked out for me. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes I got good results from these challenges, but they always ended, you know. Um, it would start with, either just abject failure, or it would go on to great success. And at a certain point, something would happen where my life changes in some way, and it just didn't accommodate for that challenge anymore. Um, right? Or it could just be like one weekend I just decided to like eat a pizza, and then like my paleo diet was like done, right? And um, all these things. And what was weird was it was like the second I broke that seal, it was almost impossible to continue, doing the diet or whatever. It's like I lost total faith in myself. So, um, that's a really brutal way of working through healing. So I kind of came up with another approach, um, and that approach I'll tell you about is we just go moment by moment, right? So it's not about keeping score. It's about learning. So you're a scientist. Life is your laboratory, and what we're going to do is go throughout our day, and we're going to see opportunities to make choices, right? And so at any time during the day, any moment, um, there's usually a kind action we could take to ourselves and to others, and then there's an action that's like a little bit like self-centered or seems easier or whatever, and that action is usually the tempting one. And so first notice that at every moment of your life, even right now as you're sitting here watching this, you might be like tensing up, right? For instance, like maybe my breathing gets tight, like just naturally. So you might be tensing up, and watching a video. Just realize that at this moment you have the ability to take a deep breath and to relax. You can do that. You have the ability to do that right now. So if you do that, maybe it'll make right now better, or maybe it'll make later better. Just one simple action. So what we can do is we can start taking it moment by moment and say, like, what can I do like right now? Not what do I have to do today to meet all my goals, but what can I do right now? And like an example is like you're feeling tense. Maybe it's time to do some breathing. Maybe it's time to do yoga. When you need to eat food, maybe it would be a good idea to eat something healthy. Maybe you don't want to eat something healthy. Maybe you want to eat something that's shit. So if you eat something that's shit, just be on the lookout for what the consequences are, right? Like, oh, I ate crappy food. because I felt like it and I just decided to, and now I feel bad. Right? Like notice, like go deeply into your personal experience. Don't run from it, right? Like how does the food make me feel? How does being stressed out make me feel? And what you start to do is you just start to like not take it so personal. It's not like this whole thing is not like I'm going to improve myself until a point where I'm doing everything perfectly. That's not how it works. It's a learning experience. So you're going to learn more and more how things affect you, how food affects you, how exercise affects you. I find that when I do a particular type of running called Zen running or Chi running, um, it involves total loosening of the body while running. When I do that type of running, every other day or so, I notice that I feel a little bit sleepy afterwards, but in general, my stress level goes way down. That's what I found. And I realized if I do it every day, no matter how little I do, I'll get painful joints. So I don't do it every day. And I don't have a rule that I do it every other day either. So what I do is I wake up one day and I say, I didn't run yesterday. Usually when I run on a day like today, it works out for me, makes me feel good. So I know that that's an option. I don't tell myself that I have to do it, but I just say, like today, if I want to get some stress reduction and get some exercise, I could go running because my body's ready for that. I make very simple smoothies most mornings, and I don't plan to do that. I wake up and I say, what would be really nice right now is one of those smoothies, because when I make the smoothies, by the way, usually I kale, banana, and orange or something simple like that with like maybe some spices like cinnamon. But if I make the smoothie and I drink that in the morning and the early afternoon, and I just nurse that big smoothie, and instead of putting carbs into me or whatever, then I feel good. I just feel like lighter and a little bit more energetic. So, and it's not always the case. Like sometimes if I have the smoothie, I won't feel good. And then I take note, like this isn't a cure-all. Like I'm not just going to feel better just because I had a smoothie. It's just it might help. It has helped in the past. And so, no plans. Stop planning. No regimens. No counting calories. Eat what makes you feel good. Do the exercise that you enjoy and that makes you feel good. If none of that makes you feel good and lying down in bed makes you feel good, go lie down in bed. Totally give yourself up to whatever it is that seems to make the most sense. And you do this every second that you remember to do it. And I'm not saying to use your willpower. I'm saying to literally wake up and say, what is the thing that I think would be good to do right now? And you can be a little selfish about it. What feels good right now for me? Does doing yoga feel good? Does meditating feel good? If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. And then just see what happens. What I found is that the habits don't go away immediately, but your judgment towards doing those things goes away, because you're not looking at it like I failed. You're looking at it like I decided to do this, and I know full well that it's not the optimal thing to do. So we'll see, what consequences I get. So judgment starts to go away, and with that, the source of the energy that keeps these habits going starts to slowly erode. And the negative habits no longer seem to make as much sense as the positive habits. So resist not evil, Jesus said, I believe, right? So just be okay with being, human. Sometimes you're going to fail your diet. Who cares? Every single second that you realize you have a choice is another chance to be reborn. Totally free of the past. Just like, okay, I'm starting over. What makes sense now? I know that sounds like I could never do that, and I would be totally lost, and I'd just go off the deep end and whatever. But it's not how it works. You don't go off the deep end. You're just removing that emotional, mental baggage that you've been carrying around your entire life, that internal dictator telling you how to live. It's funny because there's nothing wrong with knowing how to live, but it's the obsessive, compulsive, I have to do this. It's like you're whipping yourself. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to be energetic. I have to smile. I have to blah blah blah. It's like no, just I just feel this isn't. I'm not saying this is the absolute truth. I'm just saying that from what I've experienced in my life, the problem always comes down to that. It always comes down to this I feel like I have so much to do, and I just need to go to work, and I need to be energized, and it's just so exhausting. So that's why my lifestyle is I fucking gave up. I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. If I want to lie in bed for 2 hours in the morning instead of waking up and getting coffee, I'm going to do it. It's going to be awesome. I actually do that. I did that this morning. I lied in bed for an hour. I woke up without an alarm at about 8:45. And I just lied in bed until 9:45. And then I rolled out here and did yoga. And then I rolled on into work, where I work from my laptop. And I did some stuff. Then I made a smoothie. I actually decided I wanted hot cacao today. Then I went in the other room, did something, wrote a blog post, then made a YouTube video, and here I am. I was thinking about going to a skate park later because I've found that skateboarding makes me feel good, so why wouldn't I do it? I ran yesterday. Why not skate today? And I'll probably meditate later or just chill out. Work on my van. So, yeah. I hope that was somewhat informative. To summarize, every single moment is a chance to start over and try something, be honest about the result, and just keep going. Just try to heal. Don't do a regimen. Kill all your regimens and just take it moment by moment, day by day. Stop counting. Trust yourself. Forgive yourself. Just trust that it'll all be okay in the end. Namaste.